Home half of the first inning. Drifters get one in the top half. Starter tonight for the Springfield Drifters. You see there, Blake Stavros. And out of Bushnell. Righty, who's in his 4th year with the Springfield Drifters, which is something you never see in summer ball. He'll face Keaton Nadeau. Out of Cal State San Bernardino, a New Bend Elk making his first appearance. Originally from Highland, California, outfielder at 6 feet, 185 pounds. Take up on the ball. Let's start with Nadeau, the batter. 320 average this past season. 5 homers, 30 runs batted in. As that one's crushed. Deep to left center field. Burr and Gebhardt are giving chase. They're looking up in left center. It's off the base of the wall. Nadeau's going to hit second and go to third. It's a lead-off triple. The first triple of 2026 for the Elks. He was hauling, and that ball, once it hit the base of the wall in left center field, an easy triple with his speed. Now bringing up Aiden Tallarico. A day after he was the bull of the game, gets to bat with the runner on early. And he'll jump on the first pitch. Grounded it to Villapando at short. His only play is at first on one hop. It's dug out by Heffernan. But another run batted in for Tallarico, and we're tied. Now Josh Sir. Take low on a ball. Looking back at that hit from Aiden Tallarico. Did a good job just putting bat to baseball. Sir will take a changeup in tight. Sir committed to Long Beach State recently, as you see the replay on that ground out. Nadeau, he dove it home for good measure. Why not? Showing off that speed, and now Sir in a 3-ball count. Was at Vanguard last season. Hit .313 with 8 homers and 27 driven in. He'll walk on 4 pitches. Just a hair high, that was at 82. Another base runner for the Elks. Isaac Pfeiffer, the batter, in the lineup yesterday. He's a utility guy. He was at third base. And now, tonight, doing the catching. He'll take low on that pitch. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, both of the looking variety. Just wrapping up his freshman year at Portland. Sir with a short lead off of first. That one's called a strike. Stavros, 5'9", 170-pounder, made 6 appearances for Bushnell in 2026. Long pause on the first base side of the rubber. 1-1 is slashed foul. But a smart guy, Stavros is. I mean, his whole bio page just lights up with academic recognition. Academic All-CCC team and NAIA Scholar Athlete. 4.0 GPA. National Scholar Athlete Honor Society. Bright future for Stavros, regardless. That changeup is down and away. And more on him. Just incredible to keep coming back to Springfield year after year. Helps when you're from Eugene, get to stay close to home, but he started with the Drifters in 2023. Throw over to check on Sir, who's back standing. Last year with the Drifters, a 6.15 ERA and 26 in the third. That was the most he's worked in a single campaign with Springfield. 21 strikeouts to 17 walks. 2-2 to Pfeiffer's popped up foul. As Burr will give it a look, but it's out of play. Learning quick as this Elks team continues to gel that there's a lot of personalities that are with this group, and they all mesh together in their own way. Pfeiffer being one of them. Smile on his face a ton, bringing good vibes. Go over to check on Sir again, and 2 pickoffs to a guy that's taken 2 steps off of first. Just varying his delivery, though. Brody Whitcomb on deck. Sisidko in the hole. Good leave up top. A lot of teams played their Sunday afternoon game today. Elks with the evening look. So we have some final scores around the West Coast League. We'll tell you in just a minute. Back again standing. Walla Walla, they got Yakima 11-8 on the road. Ridgefield beat down on a 9-mo. We'll look at that pickoff again. You see, Sir, he's really not getting far at all. That one's flared into shallow center field, but Gebhardt's there. 2 outs. Now Brody Whitcomb, the boy from right here in Bend. 2026 graduate. A tall, lanky frame from the left side. So he'll take down and away. From Caldera High School, 6'4", 200-pounder. And a whole lot of potential. You can already see it if it starts to come together, especially with Division I coaching. You never know. As Sir got a late jump, but Leahy couldn't handle it. It's a stolen base. There was no signal. Sir thought that it might have been a foul ball. But it just kicked off the glove of Leahy. Quite an awkward one there. Number 1 first baseman in Oregon when it comes to the Baseball Northwest rankings. Take a changeup down low. Oh, that was a late call. Apologies for jumping the gun. Good pitch. It was right there. Jacob Fisher just took an extra second to make the call. Elks looking to cash in. Potentially a chance to take the lead with the base hit. Whitcomb has filmed some videos too with our boy Will from the Baseball Bat Bros that's not here again today. But it's all good. It's all good. 2-2. It's skied to center, but in the park. And the sure-handed Aiden Gebhardt just has to take a couple steps back. He makes the squeeze, and that will end the first. The Elks leave a runner in scoring position, but they bring one in after the leadoff triple from Keaton Adu in his first start as an Elk, and then Aiden Tallarico does what he does best. Put the ball in play. Early in counts, too. To the second after this. Top half of the second inning, but let's look back to this RBI. Aiden Tallarico, that ground ball to the shortstop, and Villapando, who made the strong throw, but that's why we are tied. Is now, speaking of Jacob Villapando, he steps in. Villapando, Heffernan, and Perez do up this frame against the righty and Carter Hess. 1-0 misses up. Answering that punch, especially early, is huge for a team. And the Elks doing that, establishing that standard in the first 3 games of this season, will only benefit them moving forward, too. Hess can't find the zone. It's 3-0 already with 2 walks. That's how he started off the first inning. 1 to Gebhard, 1 to Lehue. Not a habit you want to get in. Villapando's done quite well against the Elks this series. 4 hits, and they're not going to mess with him. It's a 4-pitch walk, and the 3rd of the night for Carter Hess. Now time for tonight's K-Man. Muna Heffernan, the first baseman for the Springfield Drifters. Man out of Hawaii. And Taylor, he's 1 for 1, so gets to do it again today. That's flared softly to the second baseman, and Jones. He goes to second and somehow got him. That was a risky play, but if it works, you love it. Jones to Fulton on the 4-6 putout. That ball was nubbed off the handle of the bat. 59-mile-per-hour exit velocity. But this middle of the infield tonight in Fulton out of George Fox and Jones out of Tacoma Community College, they're both sure-handed. This is Colton Perez. Drifters not carrying too deep of a roster, so we're seeing the same faces game after game. Healthy leadoff at first for Villapando as the fastball misses up and in tight. Colton Perez out of Vanguard University, 6'5", 225. Had 5 doubles, 6 homers with Vanguard this past season, as that's a check swing to the third baseman, Ferruda. He goes to second for 1, throw to first, in time! Brody Whitcomb did the splits at first on the 5-4-3 double play around the horn. Elks with some momentum to the home half. Middle of the second inning, and we're looking back at this double play. Ferruda to Jones to Whitcomb. It looked like he was safe from the naked eye, and I think he might have been by maybe half a step. It was a close one, though. Bang, bang. And our base umpire rewarding the brilliant stretch from Brody Whitcomb. All 6'4" of them completely sprawled out to shorten that throw from Braden Jones as much as possible. As Dimitri Sisitko will get us going to start this inning. Sisitko, Fulton, Ferruta, 6, 7, and 8. Umpire just tossed a pen to the Elks dugout. Haven't seen that one too many times. I feel like this crowd has gotten better over the past 10 to 20 minutes. Both sides getting packed out. Sisitko will take low. Dimitri Sisitko last season was at Saddleback College, but is committed to Coppin State now. Small frame, but can do a whole lot of things. That's grounded to the second baseman and Riddle. His throw to first. Got him by a step. Brings up Adam Fulton. The sure-handed utility man that can play anywhere up the middle. Also saw some time at third on opening night. That one's fouled away. Stavros has worked against Bend a whole lot over the past couple of years. As you see that view on a nice play from the middle infielder and Riddle, but as Pierce panned, you also can see this packed out crowd. Fulton's going to flare one into right field. It's down for a base hit. That to baseball, get rewarded. A base runner in the second. It's Kevin Ferruta time. Ferruta yesterday was a replacement late for Isaac Pfeiffer defensively. As Fulton's going to try to run, throw down to second on one hop. Not in time. Pierce was the one who mentioned it first, but this Elks team is aggressive on the bases. Hitting the motorcycle celly. And it makes this at-bat for Ferruta a whole lot easier with one out. Just a ball to the right side would move the runner over. Grounded, softly back up the middle and past the glove of Riddle. Fulton's going to score with ease, and a costly error for the Drifters puts the Elks up 2-1. That just went under the wickets of Jalen Riddle. There's no excuse for that. On a turf infield that gets pretty true hops. Possibly could have just been distracted by the thought of cutting down the runner. Now Braden Jones at the bottom of this order, rounding it off. I'm going to give that an E4, so no run batted in. Check on Ferruta, back with the dive. Braden Jones got the start opening night where he walked once. That's foul back. 5'11", 180-pounder. From Washington, attends Tacoma Community College. 244 average there with 1 homer, 21 driven in. Ferruta 2. An infielder might think about going. Changeup misses down and outside. You wonder what Jeff Lyle's looking for out of Stavros today, with some limited access to the pitching department. It was a spot for Lyle where he had to see Sonny Pena go 4 innings out of the bullpen after struggling initially, but that outing for him in relief of Caden Harris turned out to be a good one with 5 Ks and no walks. But he did give up 4, and it was all to Aiden Tallarico. That one's called a strike, a gift, and a 2-2 count, or that was 3-1. Refreshing the scoreboard now. 3-2-1 out for Uda might think about going. He does not, as it's fouled away from Jones. You think of this first weekend, too, of really a tryout period. How do you belong until some Division I talent who's still in the NCAA tournament ends up coming over once it concludes? 3-2 again. And a ball 4. It's a walk to Braden Jones. 3 straight batters have reached for the Elks to set up Keaton Nadeau, who got everybody going with the barrel to left center field and gets another shot here. First pitch, jumps on it, hit it well, but it's right at the left fielder in Burr. He'll square it up, 2 outs. Off the crack of the bat, that looked a lot better than where it ended up. That looks like a tomahawk. Understand why I thought. But Aiden Tallarico with a rare for the Elks, Florida Southwestern. An incredible player who put it all on display last night. 2 runners on for him here. Foul tipped it into the catcher's mitt. 2 home runs, 1 to right center field, and a dream swing for any pitching coach in the country. And then he pimped one to left on a ball that maybe hasn't even landed yet. He just got under that one, though. Popped it up behind home plate. Leahy has room near the on-deck circle and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Elks get 1 thanks to the error from second baseman Jalen Riddle. 3rd inning coming up on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Here in the third inning, and in between innings, we're having fun with the birthday party. Look to the bottom left of your screen. Are you kidding me? A push over, a spill. It's not supposed to get physical out there after the game's running to the sideline. Oh boy. Hope everybody's okay. Now that, I know there's been 3 runs scored, but that is the storyline so far. The push. 2 words. Burr starting us off 9-1-2 this inning. Hess hit him. That pitch got away. That's free pass number 4 given up by Carter Hess here in the third inning. Go back to the top with Aiden Gebhardt out of Redmond, Oregon. Brody Burr with some speed, the reverse leadoff in the 9th spot, as Gebhardt has a C&I base hit into shallow right. Burr's going to go from first to third. He's challenging the arm of Sir as his throw comes in and is cut off. Runners on first and third now with nobody out as Aiden Gebhardt picks up a knock. That was a tough break if you're Carter Hess. A hit by pitch and then a ball hit 79 off the bat that Braden Jones can simply not get to his left. Runner's going to go. Throw's going to go all the way down to second. Fulton picked it. But a stolen base for Gebhardt. Another one. His second of the game. You're rarely in a first and third situation at the college level see a ball thrown all the way down to second, but that's exactly what we had there. Lehue cut on and missed. 1-1. But in that case, we did. Pfeiffer just snapped it down to second. Good thing Fulton picked a tough one-hop. And LJ Lehue, man, batting in the middle of the order for a reason in an RBI spot. A changeup floats in, and it's called a strike. Lehue on opening night walked 3 times and had an RBI ground out. So although the hits didn't show up in that column, still a very productive day at the plate. Slight shift to the pull side. 1-2's lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Poor read by the runner in Brody Burr, who had to freeze in between third and home, but he still scores. And replacing him at third is Aiden Gebhardt, an RBI single for Lehue, and we're tied at 2. Carter Hess still yet to record an out this frame. See, he almost got caught up. Thought off the bat that Sir might have caught it, as that one's crushed deep down the right field line, and it's just foul. Peyton Tyner would have had a 2 RBI double at minimum if that landed fair. And a good break for the Elks. Peyton Tyner had a run batted in on the sac fly in the first. Take up and away on a ball. And that's the design of your 3-hole batter, the chance to bat with runners in scoring position and make that his second straight plate appearance where he gets to do so. Take down and in on a changeup. Hess hasn't been able to control that fastball, and it's resulted in having to float these changeups out over the heart of the plate, giving the hitters a chance to do some damage. Tyner popped it up to the third baseman in Ferruta. This is just as good as a strikeout. No runners move up. And a big first out. And he saved a couple pitches in the process, but that ball was popped up, and Tyner, you could see, immediately knew it. Slammed his bat down in frustration. Ferruta made the squeeze. Going to square to bunt, Whitcomb is, and he bunted it off the knee of Isaac Pfeiffer. Not a bad idea when you've had some difficulty coming up with situational hits to lay a bunt down. Camino popped out to Fulton back in the first inning. That hunched over stance from the right side as he flips one into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Going from first to third is Lehue. Gebhard's going to score, and the Drifters have the lead. It's 3-2. A good piece of hitting from Nick Camino. His second run batted in of 2026. That's been the report for the Drifters, and they show that it works. You can dink and duck your way to a couple wins. Putting the bat on the baseball cannot be overshadowed, and that's what the Drifters do. Here's Jalen Riddle. Runners on first and third. Running on the pitch as the throw goes down to second is Nick Camino, and he swipes it. Tried to do a swipe tag on the back foot. There's a conversation between Jacob Fisher and Drifters head coach Jeff Lyle. Lyle's been a common customer at the doorstep of Jeff Lyle, and they're making Nick Camino go back to first. Confused what this ruling is. There's a possibility, just based on watching the play myself, that this was interference on the batter, got in the way of throwing that ball down to second. If that's the case, you'd think the batter would be out. Got a replay of that stolen base. That's exactly what it is. So the ruling is that Jalen Riddle stepped in the path of Pfeiffer making that throw. If someone in the chat or wherever could do a little research on that rule, I'd love to hear. Because impeded the throw, so the ruling is that he just went back to first. I guess that makes sense. More than the batter being out entirely. As Riddle slashes one into left, another base hit. The Drifters having themselves a third inning. It's 4-2. That is the fourth hit of the inning alone, and it signals Wes Harper, the Elks pitching coach, out of the bullpen. Gavin Durr, the lefty, starting to warm for the Bend Elks in the bullpen. Just in front of that beer garden. How about that? A cold one, and you get to know before anybody else, unless they're paying attention, who's coming in the game. As Wes Harper departs, and now Jacob Villapando's up. This dreadful inning for Carter Hess continues to roll. But a ground ball would get him out of it. Villapando walked in his first at-bat in the second. Grounded to the third baseman, Ferruta. He's going to go to third for the force out. Derek Jeter-esque throw to first. Pulls Whitcomb off the bag. of 5 unassisted for the second out. That was quite the effort from Kevin Ferruta. Great decision. The ground ball brought him close to the base. Well, I guess not entirely, but still, he knew I got a chance at getting that force out. Nabbed Gamino off the paths. And now it's Muna Heffernan who lines one down the third base line. A fair ball. This will score 1 run. Throw from Sisitko is going to go into third, and it's not in time. 5-2 Drifters. One of the most impressive innings for Springfield this weekend, coming here in the third on Sunday. That is the 5th hit of the frame off Carter Hess. As Villapando is shaken up there at third. Riddle was the runner that came in to score with his speed. Just past the glove you see there of Kevin Ferruta. Tough hop off the turf. Just leaping over it. First pitch is chopped off the foot. A 4 spot here in the third. Hit after hit. But a long way to go, and that's the encouraging thing if you're the Elks, is you'd rather have a crooked number like this early on in the game, giving you time to potentially come back. Perez's first time through grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Hess's pitch. Changeup grounded. Fielded by Whitcomb. He'll touch first, and that will end the inning, but not after. 4 runs for the Drifters in the third. Elks looking to answer when we come back. I mean, look at this crowd. For a Sunday evening, Bend is showing out here at Genna. 5-2 Drifters. Now the Elks got to show out. Looking to answer a 4 spot in the top of the third. Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. Thanks so much for joining us. A lot of you normal viewers might be here with how crowded it is. Sir takes outside. Josh Sir didn't get any pitch to hit in his first at-bat. It was a 4-pitch walk. As he'll take low. Recently announced this morning his official commitment to be a Long Beach State dirtbag. From Corona, California originally. As he'll take that one for a strike, just on the inside corner. Was a bright spot in a 12-38 campaign for Vanguard. .313 average, 8 homers, 8 doubles, a .985 OPS overall. Good take there, full count. And just in the small sample size we've seen, a lot of tools and a whole lot of power. Stavros comes home on the 3-2, and he hit him. That one trilled him at 81. But the Elks will take the base runner. I mean, that got him just above the elbow guard. That's so frustrating. You wear a protective piece to protect yourself from that area of the body, but it got him more near the tricep. But Sir's all good. Isaac Pfeiffer will take outside. The heart of the order here for the Elks. Isaac Pfeiffer has done a good job putting bat to ball, but still looking for a knock. Flew out in the first to the center fielder in Aiden Gebhard, who's gotten a whole lot of action. That one called strike on the outside corner. Stavros given up a couple of free passes, but has settled back in nicely after those. As the 2-1 misses low. But in trouble now. Earlier chatted about how good it was for the Elks to answer the 1 run for the Drifters in the first. They did so in the bottom half. But equally so, when you put up 4 in the top half of the third, you got to answer it on the bump as Pfeiffer scolds a ball at the shortstop, who corrals it in Villapando. Throw around the horn, gets away from the first baseman in Heffernan. Pfeiffer's going to move up to second on the air. A fielder's choice. And Jalen Riddle tagged with his second error of the night. Ball was hit extra hard, but then you see the throw way offline. Gave Heffernan truly no shot. And Pfeiffer was busting it out the box and ready to take that hard turn. Going to second. After that error. Quick mound visit. Looks like that's pitching coach Dean Stiles. 45 pitches for Stavros, so nothing to do with that. In a good spot in the third. But got to calm down your pitcher after an error. Goes down as 6-4 on the putout for those keeping score. And then an E4 on Jalen Riddle. Tough day out there at second. Ball under his glove for an error in the second inning. And then the throw way offline. Brody Whitcomb will step up with the runner in scoring position. Talk to Brody a bit. So excited to be now a Bend Elk officially. Worked a lot with the team, but getting in-game reps is awesome as the first pitch is grounded softly to Riddle, who makes the throw to first. 2 outs. Moving up on the play is Pfeiffer to third. And that's what happens. You start kicking around some baseballs, they find you. Riddle immediately found with another ground ball and makes the play. Just a soft hit it was. You see the defense shifted over, and it was right at him. A good one to get back on track. If you're number one. This is Dmitry Sisitko, who will take a big breaking ball for a strike. Sisitko, his first time through, grounded out to the second baseman in Riddle. Takes a hair in tight. Infield able to stay all the way back with 2 outs. Sisitko, a ton of speed too. 21 stolen bases at Saddleback as he cuts on and misses at that. And back in high school, got conditioned to winning. From San Juan Capistrano, California, went to J. Serra, and there was a part of a CIF championship program and was a 2-time All-CIF selection. The 1-2 with 2 outs is Stavros Redis. Way behind him, and this is going to probably bring in a run. It does. Kicked off the glove of Leahy. Pfeiffer comes in with ease. 5-3. Errors galore, allowing for the Elks to score. E4 and then the wild pitch. I mean, this breaking ball really got away from Stavros. And you see the head looking up to the heavens. Frustrated. Sitko pops up the 2-2. Shallow center field. Gebhard calls off the second baseman in Riddle. And that will end the inning. Thanks to the Riddle error, the Elks get Pfeiffer all the way to third. And then the wild pitch with 2 outs gets a run home. 5-3, new arm coming in. It's Gavin Durr, the lefty, after this. Gavin Durr, the new pitcher for the Bend Elks, here to start the top of the 4th inning. 5-3 Drifters on top, as Durr will face 9-1-2. That includes 2 left-handers. Tall, lanky southpaw himself. That one's called a strike on the outside corner. Durr, 6'1", 200-pounder from right here in Bend, Oregon. Went to Mountain View High School. Washington State Cougar. Fastball. Fly to right field. Sir is underneath it and will make the catch. Carter Hess to Gavin Durr. They're staying local tonight. And it's a perfect night to do so with how good this crowd is. I'm going to keep beating a dead horse. It is so good. And just a beautiful day to take in some baseball. You see Vinny walking around, interacting with the kids. Gebhardt's going to square to bunt, and oh my goodness. That almost hit him in the face. The bat looked like it shielded his eyes from getting hit. That was scary for Gebhardt. Very fortunate that bat did some protection, as the heater from Durr right at the knees, 0-2. I mean, oh my. Watching it again just makes it even more nervy. He was determined to get that bunt down. Got him looking. A heater at 87, painting the black. And Gavin Durr's first strikeout. So this is LJ Leahy. I called him a lefty. Excuse me. He's one of the rare switch hitters who will take a strike. Being able to do that at any level is quite impressive, but especially in college. Leahy with a pair of at-bats. He's reached in both. Filthy sweeper from Durr misses down. Gavin Durr this last year with the Cougars worked in just 12 innings. Had a 15 ERA, 20 earned. And the biggest gripe came with the inability to find the strike zone. 20 walks to just 7 Ks. At 2-1, caught a lot of plate but missed up. And the Bluebirds, who already started a pitch prior, giving it to our home plate ump tonight in Jacob Fisher. Durr's 3-1. Skips in, ball 4. A quick 2 outs and then the walk. As you see it, in real time, it looked like it could have been a bit up for sure. 50-50 zone. And ultimately, Durr will get to face a left-handed bat in Peyton Tyner. Ready to go, jumps on the first pitch and fouls it away. Peyton Tyner. 2 at-bats, sacrifice fly in the first, and then he popped out to the third baseman in Kevin Ferruta. That was a situation with a runner on first and third, or runners plural, with no outs, and he couldn't come through. The turquoise bat, a staple for a lot of these Drifters hitters. Beaming in the evening rays here in Bend. Now 1-2. College baseball ensuing all across the country this weekend as we've had some incredible regionals. 1-2 misses up and in tight. And one of the coolest stories was earlier, before the broadcast. Makoa Sniffen, former Bend Elk, just a year ago, he was an all-star. Walked off #1 ranked UCLA to send them out of the tournament. 2-2 grounded softly. Ferruda fields it on a tough hop and makes a strong throw to first to end the frame. We'll talk more about Makoa Sniffen when we come back, but Gavin Durr pitches through the 2-out walk. Bottom 4. Coming up, it's 5-3 Drifters. Looking back to that replay to end the top of the 4th inning. Gavin Durr with the pitch. Ferruda with a great snag and an even stronger throw to first. Getting Durr the 0 as the Bend Elks trail the Springfield Drifters 5-3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Long way to go on a Sunday evening. The Elks looking for the sweep in the opening weekend of many here at Vince Ganna Stadium. And the YMCA, a song that will live on forever. The dance, pretty simple to do. From kids to adults. It's just like the Sweet Caroline when they do it here. The people love it. Fulton, Ferruda, and Jones, 7, 8, and 9. Here in the home half of the 4th inning. Elks looking to get something going. Still going, Blake Stavros. Righty on the mound. 51 pitches. One guy that had a knock off of Stavros. Only 2 hitters in the Elks lineup have had knocks. It's Adam Fulton, the man in the box, and the leadoff man, Keaton Nadeau. Fulton will take a strike. These twitchy middle infielders have found a spot in Bend. Jason Nagler was another one of them last year for the Elks that stuck around for a long time. And Fulton's got that same sort of wiry build at his size, who takes pride in his defense. No errors at George Fox this last season. That gold jersey, too. Looking gorgeous in the sun as Fulton was way out in front. Completely fooled by the 71-mile-per-hour changeup. Stavros, if you believe it, that's his first strikeout here in the 4th. And he's not going to overpower you with velocity, so this is how he's going to get his swing and miss. Simply just fooling the opposition. Changeup that caught a lot of plate, but Fulton was not looking for it. Now it's Kevin Ferruda. Take up. 2 balls and no strikes. Ferruda reached on the error. 1 of 2 for Jalen Riddle over at second base. Take just in tight. Currently in the transfer portal. Utility guy can play basically every infield position besides first. As he'll jump on a 3-0 pitch and put a charge in the ball. Deep left field, and it's foul. The green light on a 3-0 count. And Kevin Ferruta was ready for it. 98 off the bat. It traveled 370 feet. As Leahy and Ferruta sharing a laugh. I think Ferruta also thought he got it off the bat. Found a barrel, and now Stavros will have to recollect. Ready to hit again, and fouls it right past third base coach Johnny Kemp. Kemp down there at third, David Diaz at first. Johnny looking fly, per usual. Got the Jordans on the feet. 3-2-1 out, nobody on base. Ferruta puts another charge into a baseball, but right at Brody Burr, ranging from right to left. And there's two gone. Two outs for Braden Jones. Elks with only 2 hits tonight. Still just waiting for the offense to come to life. A night ago, they had 12 in their 8-5 win over the Drifters. And game 1 had 9. So this lack of offense has not been a common theme. Jones is going to pop it up on the 0-1. Dead sprint from Gamino near the dugout as it falls foul. But was thinking about more on Makoa sniffing too. As we mentioned in Elk, an awesome one, and to have that moment, we all enjoyed watching it together up here in the press box. It was pretty cool. Couldn't happen to a better dude. So proud of Makoa here in Bend. And the whole crowd too, when our lovely PA announcer Dom Husin said it over the loudspeaker. They were all cheering. They do not forget at all what Makoa did in 2025. Jones on the 1-2 pitch. Has himself a single. Right back where it came from. And his first hit as an Elk. There's going to be a lot of firsts this season, especially early on here. And Jones in a 2-strike count. Not a big stride at all, just keeping it simple. And a great piece of hitting to flip the lineup back over to the top with Keita Nadeau, who's already tripled. Take outside on the breaking ball. And he flew out in his last at-bat. There's pop in that swing. And he popped that one up. Foul territory going over his Heffernan. So is Leahy near the dugout. Bounces up off the net. And then Mason Elrod with a nice backhander. Almost hit our lovely ball boy in the gold helmet. It gets scary over there with the Mats. Mason Elrod. Was that 2 nights ago now? Friday. Was on a dead sprint in foul territory to try to go catch a ball. And he slipped on the mat just outside of the dugout and fell hard. We were really happy that he didn't hit his head because it could have not been a pretty sight. Some speed on first with Braden Jones. Just stole 3 bases, though, at Tacoma CC. Changeup misses down. 2-1 to Keaton Nadeau, bottom of the fourth, 5-3 Drifters. But Nadeau representing the tying run. Stavros comes set and misses low on the off speed. Aiden Tallarico waiting in the wings on deck. Already with a run batted in tonight. Runner on the move in Jones as the fastball misses high, ball 4. So although it would have been a close play down at second, does not matter. Nadeau's reached for his second time. Man was on the move and would have swiped it anyway. But also, Lehue knowing it was ball 4, having the runner walk in front of him could have affected the throw. As Jeff Lyle, as Aiden Tallarico comes up, is going to go to the bullpen. They want a new arm to face the Elks star in a big spot, with Tallarico representing the go-ahead run. Stavros had a good outing and deserves a round of applause for it. Three and 2/3, and he will exit for Jake Fritz, the righty, an incoming freshman. Looking back at how the Elks got here, it was the ground out for Aiden Tallarico, who's just about to come up. That was a good pick, too, on the back end by Heffernan. And then, later, right back up the middle, but Jalen Riddle could not handle it. Coming in to score, that was off the bat of Kevin Ferruta for the Elks' second run. And then their third, with 2 outs, a wild pitch behind Dimitri Sisitko, allowing for the Elks to coast in their third run. Drifters shooting themselves in the foot. You sound like a broken record when you constantly emphasize a point, but both teams have felt that. Drifters in night 1 had 4 errors. They've left a combined 29 runners on base in the first 2 games of this series. And the Elks, too, despite a 8-5 win last night, had 5 errors. Everybody's still feeling their feet underneath them as the summer begins. Jake Fritz with the goggles on will get ready to go. From Corvallis, Oregon, went to Crescent Valley High School, and he's committed to San Diego Mesa. Tallarico time with 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th. Was ready for the first pitch, but held up on one they missed in tight. As soon as you show the crowd that you can hit the ball out of the yard and have an electric game like Aiden Tallarico did on Saturday night, they're now automatically on the edge of their seats when it comes to every one of his at-bats. But he popped up, frustrated, to the second baseman and Riddle, and that will end the inning. A pair of pop-outs for Aiden Tallarico in his last 2 at-bats, as the Elks leave a couple runners on base. Still 5-3 Springfield. Top of the 5th inning coming up, but in between innings, that was the chip that went a little awry. His buddy doing the handshake with him, he was on the money. I mean, to 2 feet, a tap-in birdie. Outstanding. You don't see that a lot. Those miniature golf balls are hard to hit. This is Nick Gamino. Still facing the lefty, Gavender. Gamino, Riddle, and Villapando. The material of those golf balls, per se, very light, like a styrofoam. So to chip that style of ball, let's call it 30, 40 feet to about 2 feet, impressive. Chase down low at the 1-1. Gamino's 1 for 2 was a part of the barrage of hits in the 3rd inning, and that 4 spot for the Drifters has been the difference so far this evening. Durr's 1-2. Got him looking. 83 at the knees. Gavin Durr's 2nd strikeout. A frustrated Nick Gamino. He thought that ball was down. On our track man, it appears so. By a hair. But tough to gauge height in that case. Now Jalen Riddle. Unlike ABS, which is down to the T, exact measurements, TrackMan is one consistent zone, so it's obviously not going to be as steady as you'd like from the height side of things. Looking back to that pitch. You see why Gamino maybe complained a tad? I mean, it was right there, a hair low. But a good frame job by Isaac Pfeiffer, stealing a strike. Now, 2-1 to Jalen Riddle. Riddle looking to make up for his miscues defensively. He already did so with an RBI single last 3rd inning. Speedy middle infielder. When he gets on base, he can wreak havoc. Defense playing him straight up. As that one's called a strike. Just caught the inside corner. That time that was in there. On our automated strike zone in the press box. Durr looking to work back. His payoff. Ground ball to Ferruta, who gets it on the high hop. 2 outs. Just the high chopper and the strong throw across the diamond. Brings up Jacob Villapando, who fouls it away. Villapando has not been nearly as dangerous so far tonight, but you're not getting ahead of yourself. Still a long way to go. But he really has tormented these Elks this entire series. Goes to Fresno City College, just like Elks player Noble Ortega. Did not play in 2026 with Fresno CC, but back in 2025, 29 hits, 5 doubles, and a few homers. Two ones popped up. Foul territory. Whitcomb gives it a look. But it's foul and out of play. I'm really curious to see this attendance tonight. because last night we had just over 1,200. Opening night 14. I think we're near that opening night number. I'd say maybe a few less. I'd guess somewhere just over 1,350. But so cool to see this entire community rally around an Elks team that's played really good baseball. Durr lost him on the 3-2 count. So the second walk for Gavin Durr. Looking at the scouting report, you're going to get some of that with the swing and miss. And Muna Heffernan will get a shot to bat with the runner on. Tonight's came in. As that misses low, blocked by Pfeiffer. Runner's going to try to take third. Or try to take second. And he does. That was good running by Jacob Villapando. It was an awkward one, though, and the reason thought third initially is because that's where Muna Heffernan was shielding Isaac Pfeiffer. After the block baseball, he did what you're supposed to do, just stayed in the batter's box, and it made Pfeiffer's throw a lot more difficult. But a 1-0 count. Big insurance run for the Drifters out on second. As Heffernan grounds it softly to Jones, who corrals it on the short hop. Throw to first. That will end the inning. A great job by Gavin Durr. Working through the 2-out walk. Elks down by just 2. Looking to mount a comeback starting in the 5th. Jacob Fritz still out there for another inning of work. He came in to end the bottom of the 4th and got Aiden Tallarico to pop out. Good move by Jeff Lyle going to the bullpen there. Now we'll face the Heart. Sir Pfeiffer Whitcomb. As Sir almost wore one in the head. That's after an at-bat where he already was hit by a pitch on that left tricep, so I'm sure he's not too fond of these pitches that continue to come up and in. Is that one whizzed by the head? He could probably hear the seams. 3-0. Josh Sir, a king of the free pass so far tonight. A walk and a hit by pitch. And in another 3-ball count. As Fritz lost him. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Jacob Fritz, who was feeling it after last inning. Time is called now as LJ Leahy will go have a chat with Fritz. Just looking to calm him down. And looking back to the last frame, you had this here, the shielding of Isaac Pfeiffer, where the runner was able to move up to second. And then 10 the frame, Braden Jones with a really solid play. That sort of inning, you think you can build some momentum off of it. And Isaac Pfeiffer represents the tying run as he almost gets hit by a pitch. Jacob Fritz cannot find the strike zone. And it's coming at the expense of some elk flesh. Big breaking ball at 69 miles per hour, almost like an ephus. Misses high. Takes high there as well. It's 3-0. That is 7 straight balls for Jacob Fritz coming out of the break. And it's giving the Elks a free rally on a silver platter. He'd be shocked if he gets turned loose on the 3-0 and make it 8 straight balls. Jacob Fritz. The Bend Elks will take it any way they can get it. Brody Whitcomb, who will get a chance to hit with a couple of ducks on the pond. Time is called, and I think Jeff Lyle's seen enough. So Jacob Fritz did his thing. He got Aiden Tallarico out in a big spot. But to start this 5th inning, 8 straight balls. A 4-pitch walk to Sir, and then a 4-pitch walk to Pfeiffer. And it's a new arm coming in number 47, Tristan Mallory. You can tell there's something mechanically going on when it comes to what Jacob Fritz had going, because he just wasn't getting on top of the baseball. All of the misses were up in the zone. And put him in quite a difficult spot. Soul searching out there. So it's going to be up to Tristan Mallory to clean up his mess. Jake Fritz's 2 runners are both earned if they were to come around to score. That being Sir and Pfeiffer. And Tristan Mallory will get a chance to maybe redeem himself. Mallory threw back on Friday night in the opener. He went 1 inning and walked 5 with just 1 strikeout, giving up 4 runs in the process. So I'm sure he's been eager to get back out there. Jeff Lyle relying on Tristan Mallory in a left-on-left spot. Mallory, 6'1", 175-pounder out of Bushnell University from Medford, Oregon. You'll see 4 pitches tonight, and one of them is one of the new pitches to baseball, the kick change. Unique grip, sometimes can cause some more arm injuries, so there's risk to it. But at Bushnell in 26, 9 games out of the bullpen as a freshman, went 2-0 with a 1.99 ERA. So to struggle out the gate in Springfield was something he was not used to. Elks trail by 2, no outs in the bottom of the 5th with 2 runners on base. So you wonder if Brody Whitcomb, the young corner infielder, will lay down a bunt. He does not square it. Kicks away from Leahy on the wild pitch. Throw goes down to second on one hop. Not in time. Both runners move up just as good as a bunt. And the Elks have the tying run in scoring position. Will Taylor and I on Friday night were raving about LJ Leahy's blocking ability. It's a rarity to see a ball squeak away. So the infield will stay back. A ball in play should score. As Whitcomb gets hit. Regardless of what's intentional and what is not, nobody is ever fond of continuously getting plunked. And there have been so many close misses from this Drifter staff. Only 2 hit by pitches in total tonight. But a whole lot of close calls. And Dmitry Sasitko gets to bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. Sasitko takes a strike at the top of the zone. Grounded out in the 2nd and flew out in the 3rd. Corner infielders creeping in Gamino and Heffernan. Villapando and Riddle looking to turn 2 up the middle. 0-1. Fouled away from Sasitko. Ball in the outfield is the main objective here. To at bare minimum, bring in a run and stay out of the double play. 23 runs batted in at Saddleback College last season. Mallory's 0-2. Good take. Spit on a changeup, down and away. Tonight, Dmitry Sasitko's first start as an Elk in a big spot here. Misses low, 2-2. An inning that has been predicated on 2 walks and a hit by pitch. A free rally for the Bend Elks. And now they're 1 big hit away from flipping this game's landscape entirely. Fastball grounded into left field and through for a base hit. 1 run will score. Getting the stop at third is Isaac Pfeiffer, but Sasitko does the job. 5-4. 97 off the bat through the 5-6 hole. The Elks looking for that 1 big inning. Knocking on the doorstep. Fulton takes a breaking ball outside. A nightmarish series for Tristan Mallory continues. Seeking a ground ball to get out of this. Adam Fulton, 1 for 2. Fastball's fouled away. Fruit on deck, then Jones to round off the starting 9. 5-4. Both in the run column and the hit column. Long look in for Mallory. Is 1-1. Outside. And one thing that may get overlooked, especially when you can't find the zone, even if it doesn't result in a free pass, if you're getting behind hitters early, it allows for these Elks to zero in on that 1 pitch, 1 spot and do damage. Another one that's not close. It's 3-1. Tristan Mallory is laboring out there. Popped up and foul out of play. Adam Fulton kicking himself. Had a good look at it there. And a big pitch coming up in this game. Tristan Mallory looking to pitch for the strikeout. Needs some sort of positivity to keep this out and rolling. Fulton looking to protect. The 3-2. Fastball grounded to the shortstop in Villalpando. He fields it there, flipped to second for one, throw to first, double play. But with that, the tying run comes in to score. But a missed opportunity for the Elks with the bases loaded and nobody out. 5-5. That's one where you're obviously happy for the run. But the possibility of what could have been will haunt you. Furuta will take outside for a ball. Furuta reached on the air, flew out his last time. Take a fastball up and outside. A 2-out hit would do wonders for the Bend Elks. Furuta crushes one into left field. Burr's going to give it a look, going back, and it's off the wall. Kevin Furuta knocks in the go-ahead run, an RBI double, and the Elks lead 6-5. A bounce-back frame after a third inning that saw 4 runs cross for the Drifters. The Elks have answered with 3 of their own in the 5th. And Braden Jones will bat. So Jacob Fritz will be frustrated too because his 2 runs came in. Will be charged to him and the rest on Mallory. PFP complete. Heffernan to Mallory. And that will end the inning. Not after though. Elks with 3. 6-5 the score. And taking a look at that entire sequence. It was a bonkers one. A hit by pitch on Brody Whitcomb wore it near that tailbone. Then Dimitri Sasidko with an RBI single into left, a ball that was sharply cracked. Adam Fulton then came up, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, but brought in a run. And then when looking for the 2-out knock, Kevin Furuta off the wall and a heck of a swing. New arm coming in after this for the Elks, but they're on top by 1. The t-shirt toss also means that everybody is looking for Vinny. Look at those kids swarming the best mascot in the land. I'd ask Vinny for an autograph before anybody else. An icon. And a lot of good vibes, too, after that great frame for the Bend Elks. Played in 3. And the big hit was the Kevin Ferruta RBI double with 2 outs. New arm now in the game. It's the lefty, Keithan Vaquera. As Vaquera will throw in a fastball at 88 and misses just a bit low. In the lefty Gavin Durr, and now following it up with another southpaw. From Long Beach City College. That's fouled away. Bakersfield, California. Originally went to Centennial High School. 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. Still quite a young player. That breaking ball is fouled straight back. Vaquera facing Perez, Burr, and Gebhardt. 8-9-1 in this inning here in the top of the 6th. 2-strike pitch. Got him looking. And buckled the knees of Colton Perez on a filthy 76-mile-per-hour pearl of a breaking ball. Now Brody Burr. This is down and in tight. Still figuring out a lot from these new pitchers and kind of what their stuff offers, but you better watch out for that Vaquera breaking ball because it is dirty. A lot of balance when he comes up on that windup. And good velocity from the left side. Fastball sitting right around 87 to 88 miles per hour. And run it up to the low 90s. 2-1. Hold the strike. That at 85. Brody Burr was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Flew out his last time through. The Drifters, after that 4 spot in the 3rd, have been quiet offensively. The Elks, these pitchers, they're settling in and another swing through. Out of confidence. Swagger from Vaquera out there on the hill. Two. Softly tapped up the third base line, and a good job by Pfeiffer letting it go foul. This guy over here, every condiment in a burger. Pierce was telling me he's never seen the like. I mean, you got the ketchup, the mustard, the relish. Was it mayo too? Every condiment. That is unique. I mean, that's the beauty of it though, right? Is everybody can enjoy the delicacies in their own way. Got him swinging. Got Brody Burr to chase. Pfeiffer will flip it. And there's 2 outs. That's Deuce Sims now over there at first base. In for Brody Whitcomb. Deuce Sims, Second year with this Elks group, a lot of time with the Ben Bucks last season, and a newfound power stroke. We're excited to watch Deuce go to work all summer. To the top of the order with Aiden Gebhard. But Keithan Vaquera has struck out 2 batters he's faced this inning. A crafty lefty, maybe a guy the Elks can lean on in the coming weeks. Vaquera will nod and work. Fastball misses up. 3-0. Gebhard's had a good day at the dish. He'll take outside ball 4. That's the 3rd time he's reached base, 2nd time he's walked. Just hope if you're Vaquera that the 2-out walk doesn't come back to bite him. Just pulled off of this fastball. Bit too much. Missing outside. And you'd rather, if you're a lefty in that case, not miss arm side. A lot easier to correct. And the switch hitter, LJ Lehue, will step in with 2 outs. Lehue, a big fella, tormenting the Elks this evening. Pair of walks, an RBI, single in the 3rd. 1-0 fastball misses up. And a good awareness from Isaac Pfeiffer to call time. Go talk to the lefty and Vaquera. Was rolling 2 strikeouts to Perez and Burr. Then the walk to Aiden Gebhard. And just got to make sure they're on the same page while continuing to attack LJ Lehue. LJ Lehue out of Rice. And Drifter broadcaster Knight Jericho helped me out, giving me some information, so I appreciate you, Knight, if you're watching, but was telling me that Rice assistant coach, JJ Altabelli, that breaking ball is called a strike, played for Drifter's pitching coach, Dean Stiles, at the University of Oregon, when Dean was an assistant with the Ducks. So that's how now the Drifters are seeing this import of dudes from Rice in Houston. Lehue being one of them. And already being a staple in the middle of this order. We'll take low, it's 3-1. You don't want to get away from the objective if you're Vaquera of throwing strikes. Just a 1-run game. A lot still to unfold here. That fastball missed. Looked like it caught the top of the strike zone. A tough break for Keithan Vaquera. And Jacob Fisher has been a low ball umpire, it's felt like, all night long. That top pitch hasn't gone either team's way, but that's a tough one right at the belt. Peyton Tyner will hit. So the 2 sides of pitching. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Then back-to-back walks. To bring up Tyner has an RBI that came back in the 1st. Got the Drifters offense going. As time is now called. Aiden Gebhard started running on the pitch. There's no signal from the umpires, but Gebhard's going to have to go back to second. I'm unsure as to what that was. Vaquera just came set. Time was called by the home plate umpire, Jacob Fisher. I think that's all it was. Maybe initiated by Peyton Tyner. Now the runners are going to take off. Pfeiffer's throw is going to go down to second, and nobody's there. Run is going to come in to score. Lehue up to third, and the Drifters have tied the game at 6-6. An unbelievable error with nobody covering. is Isaac Pfeiffer, threw it to the back runner. Aiden Gebhard with an easy score, as both middle infielders in Fulton and Jones were not expecting a throw down. 1-1 gets the call on the outside corner. As you're looking at it again, I mean, it's understandable. Generally, in that case, unless you got to play on, the middle infielders aren't going to go and cover. But the Elks get the strikeout. I believe that's... Well, there's some confusion now. In my head, I think I counted 2 strikes. But we'll see what Fisher and the base umpire come up with. That's where my confusion lied on the strikeout. And it is 2 strikes. Or it's not. There is a lot of confusion, and somebody's got to take charge out there. Now Jeff Lyle and Jacob Fisher are having a conversation. Alan Cox is going to come out. And the one man that is still out there is Peyton Tyner. He refuses to believe that his at-bat is over. And I think he would know best. As it stands, a punch out on the field. They called the strikeout. Peyton Tyner was ready to end the inning, and Alan Cox seems to be quite irritated with Jacob Fisher. I think this inning is going to continue. Based on the reaction to this conversation, Alan Cox thought it was strike 3. Jacob Fisher thought it was strike 2. Jeopardy music. That's good. This should not take this long. You know, both umpires out there have an indicator with the count. And I believe Pierce is telling me, my lovely producer, that he counted 2 strikes. That's also what I counted up here. But you would hope and imagine that one of these umpires would have the count. You're keeping track of it. Not only was our broadcast count 1 and 2, but the scoreboard also shows 1 and 2. But 1 and 2 with 3 outs, not 2. This is fun to figure out. And they're going back on the field. That is quite the sight. I don't know if and I'm young, but in my life watching baseball, I've seen that. Both umps don't know the count. Everyone exits the field. And now we're going to play baseball, and Josh Sir's barely ready and right. He was just running on the field. Oh, my goodness. Chaos. So now Tyner's stepping out, and he's asking, what's the count? Becerra is 2-2, I think. Ump says 3-2. Okay. I feel like there's a ball missing somewhere, though. 3-2, 2 outs, 6-6 after a long in-game delay based on the count. And it's ball 4. So all that momentum now back with the Drifters. And some boos. Displeasantries with home plate umpire Jacob Fisher. I think this might be Alan Cox going to get Keithan Vaquera, and he is. So not only is the inning not over, Alan Cox is forced to use another arm to get out of this sixth. And it looks like that's Jared Robles. Robles will enter after a peculiar situation. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. Runners on first and third. 2 gone. Robles looking to escape. Six to 6, the score. Jared Robles entering after Alan Cox and the rest of that coaching staff thought the inning was over. Jared Robles was the man to pick up the first win of the season for the Bend Elks on Friday night, and he pours in a strike to start off his outing. Robles went 1 inning on Friday, 1 run, 1 walk, no Ks. It was gritty, he called it, but came away with the dub. Cut on and missed. 92 at the top of the zone. A lot more velo than we were seeing from the southpaw and Vaquera, and a different look to the righty and Nick Camino. 0-2, misses down. So they're hoping that Robles can pitch through this here. 5'10", 195 from East Los Angeles, California. Went to Cal State, LA. The 1-2 with 2 outs. Breaking ball. Got him looking. Now the inning's over for sure. A backwards K to end the top of the 6th. But the Drifters, they get 1 in. Bottom 6, all tied at 6 when we come back. Bottom of the 6th coming up. There's that Elks coaching staff, Alan Cox, Wes Harper, and crew. Really weird last inning where home plate umpire Jacob Fisher did not know the count. Elks thought they got out of it. Everybody left the field. They had to come back on, finish the at-bat. Keithan Vaquera then walked the batter. Allen had to go to the bullpen, bring in Jared Robles, who got a backward strikeout to get the Elks out of it. As Keaton Nadeau on the first pitch he sees. Hits one off of the shortstop, Jacob Villapando's backhand. And a single for Nadeau, his second of the night. That was practically an impossible play for Jacob Villapando. Even if he fields that ball cleanly deep in the hole, really had no shot. Now it's Aiden Tallarico. Still Tristan Mallory working, the lefty on the mound. Check on the runner in Nadeau, who's back standing. Scoreboard all corrected now. Saw some folks in the chat commenting on that. Should be set. 6-6. Runner on first. Nobody out. Nadeau's going to go. Throw down to second is high. And Nadeau swipes his first stolen base as an Elk. And it gives Aiden Tallarico a chance to hit with the runner in scoring position. You love that from Bend. Just good baseball. The leadoff runner getting on with a whole lot of speed. And Tallarico up. It makes sense to want to set the table for him to hit with the guy on. Mallory's 0-1. Fouled away. Tallarico, after one of the best performances we've seen in a single game, offense and defense included. A quiet Sunday evening with an RBI ground out. Couple of pop-outs. Just getting underneath some baseballs. Mallory yearning for a clean inning. That 5th. Saw 3 runs cross for the Elks. He was in the thick of it. 0-2. Got him swinging. Tallarico was way out in front on a changeup. Oh for 4 tonight. After a game where he had 4 hits. That's baseball. And he was even somebody that had that perspective before anybody else in our out call yesterday. Said, I always have a smile on my face because of how this game is built on failure. You fail 7 out of 10 times, you're an all-star. Now it's Josh Sir. Will take low on a fastball. Looking to come up with a new name for king of the free pass. A walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk. He has not gotten any pitch to hit. Has just stepped in that box and then walked down to first. He takes a big hack. That looked like a guy that was waiting for one all night. Showcased that power a bit in night 1. Had himself a hard hit single through the 5-6 hole. Also picked up a run batted in. 1-1 out. Nadeau leads off a second. He's going to go. Sir swings and misses. Throw down a third. Not in time. Keaton Nadeau stole second a batter ago and now swipes third. Just a great jump. Mallory with a long look back. And Nadeau went as soon as he turned home. Interesting choice for the Drifters. They're going to keep the infield back in a 6-6 game. A lot of game left, so it makes perfect sense as the fastball trails away. Mallory's 2-2. Outside, full count. On deck is Isaac Pfeiffer. After him, Brody Whitcomb. Or rather, Deuce Sims, who came in on defense. Ball 4. Josh Sir. Walk, hit by pitch, walk, and then another walk. That on-base percentage soaring up. And that's enough for Jeff Lyle, as he will come out with runners on first and third and one out to get the lefty and Tristan Mallory. A lot of pitchers have seen this Vince Guerra Stadium mound this weekend. Early on in the summer, looking for outs. We'll step aside. New arm coming in. New pitcher in for Jeff Lyle's group is the righty Andrew Miller, who worked just a night ago. Went 1 inning, no runs, no hits, 1 strikeout. And they're looking at him again to get out of a difficult spot. The Elks have really gotten things going. Saw this here. Lehue moving up to third on that play just a few innings ago. And then offensively, Keaton Nadeau terrorizing the paths. Steals second. And then just a few moments later, if they weren't aware of him already, he says, you know what, I'm going to take third. And that's where he stands now. Josh Sir just walked and he's on first. Isaac Pfeiffer steps up in a big spot as he swings and misses. Runner's going to try to go. It's the simple deke, and Nadeau's caught him between third and home. Lehue chases him back. They got him in a rundown. Moving up on the back end is Sir, and Nadeau's going to be tagged out. A play that you generally see only work at levels lower than high school gets Nadeau nabbed off a third. Keaton Nadeau completely fell for the LJ Lehue pump fake down to second. And then it's Miller who finishes it off with the tag. That is costly with 1 out, because now it requires an Isaac Pfeiffer 2-out hit. Pfeiffer's going to pop up. Foul territory. Lehue gives it a look, and it's back into the stands. The one rule, you can't get picked off at third. And Nadeau was sniffing it. That aggressive base running, though, on the flip side is what got him a pair of stolen bases in one sequence. 0-2, 2 outs, 6-6 the score in this series finale. Bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Sir standing on third. Miller comes home. Pfeiffer fights one off, and it's foul. Still searching for that first hit as a Bend Elk. Was 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 2 today, reaching on a walk. Fastball, cold, strike 3 on the outside corner, and that will end the inning. Jacob Fisher tells Isaac Pfeiffer to stop John. And the Elks, with runners on the corners and 1 out, cannot find a way to score. That was tough break. Nadeau gets himself the hit. Blazing down to first as Villapando couldn't field it in the hole. He steals second, does his thing, the throw's high. And with that speed, being as good of a base runner as Nadeau is, you wouldn't expect a miscue like we see later in this sequence. But Mallory, after the stolen base is second, takes a peek back there. And he goes again. Blazing to third. That throw's not in time. Absolutely electric. It walked Josh Sir, heads down to first for his 4th free pass of the night, and then Keaton Nadeau gets caught up in between third and home. Maybe that was the moment. Pfeiffer punches out on a fastball that could have gone either way, and Andrew Miller did his thing. Jeff Lyle, hats off to him for the Drifters. His in-game moves have really worked tonight. 7th inning in a few. Tied at 6. Elks get out of it. A lot of momentum going into the 7th inning stretch. 6-6 the score. Apologies on my front. That mic was turned down for that whole half inning. But if you want to recap, I got it for you right here. Jalen Ridley got on base. We obviously had the pitching change, but Jared Robles, he continued to roll, and to end that frame, punched out Colton Perez on a beautiful four-seam fastball right by him. Go back to this now. Starts with Riddle, who got it going with the single into left. And obviously that presents a whole lot of speed too. Heffernan then scorched a single off the mound that bounded into shallow center field. After that, the throwdown. Isaac Pfeiffer with a P-Rod to get him at third. A great tag by Kevin Ferruta. As the first pitch to Deuce Sims is called a strike. And then the final strikeout. Jared Robles got Colton Perez on the heater. It's Sims, Sasidko, and Fulton coming up as soon Sims fouls that back. Sims' first at-bat of the night. All knotted up at 6. At the start. Opening night, reached twice. Had himself an RBI single, too. 0-2 will take outside for a ball. Deuce Sims heading to midway next season. A lot of power in the lefty bat. Has noticeably gained some muscle heading into 2026. And that arm for the Drifter still Andrew Miller. 2-strike pitch. Misses outside. He entered with runners on first and third and one out and escaped without allowing a run after Nadu got caught up in between first and third. Deuce is going to fly one into left field. Poor jump on the ball initially by Burr, but he recovers and makes the catch. Now Dmitry Sasidko. Big RBI single in the 5th inning after 3 consecutive free passes in that sequence. That was the hit that got things going for the man committed to Coppin State at Saddleback a year ago. Now in that Division I jump. Miller's 1-0. Sasidko flips one into right field. He's got himself a hit. Sometimes it doesn't have to be hit hard. The second hit of the night for Sasidko. Turns the page to Adam Fulton. Fulton had an RBI in his last at-bat in the 5th on that 6-4-3 double play. But the 5th could have been even larger than the 3 runs as Sasidko goes on the first pitch, but Fulton fouls it away. Did envision a world, though, where the Elks could have put up 5+. And this game in the 7th would be completely different. Instead, we're knotted up. Elks seeking a sweep. Go over to Sasidko, and Heffernan got handcuffed. That sunshine might have played a factor. It's tough to play first base at this time of the night, as you see both Sasidko and Heffernan in the beaming rays. Fulton grounds one. This could be two. Villapando takes it to second himself. The throw to first. An inning-ending double play. After Sisitko's one-out single, Adam Fulton frustrated. His second time bounding into a double play tonight. And it was as tailor-made as it gets. A Sunday hop to Villapando and a step and throw. To the eighth, a man we saw last night coming into the game, Noble Ortega after this. Noble Ortega, the new pitcher for your Bend Elks, in a 6-6 tie we got going in the eighth inning. Noble pitched just a night ago, and you know what he also did? He DH'd 4 at-bats, a true two-way guy, had a double in the third inning of last night's game. And then he came in and picked up the save. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 K, no walks in that ninth inning. Alan Cox. Looking at the batters coming up, you got Brody Burr, then the lefty and Aiden Gebhardt, and the switch hitter and LJ Lehue. So possibly playing matchups. Vinny making his rounds again. With Carson, our outstanding field announcer. Starting a Let's Go Elks. They need it now. Approaching 8 o'clock local time. That sun's still high in the sky. Brody Burr reached on a hit by pitch, but nothing more tonight. Where's to bunt? Pulls back, and it's called a strike on the outside corner. Noble Ortega, and the way he sets up is so interesting, just straight at the batter. It's almost an intimidating presence. Foul back, something similar to what you'd see in the circle in softball. But when those girls do it, they wind back and then come forward. Noble works horizontally. The 0-2 to Burr. Fouled back. Burr came around and scored in that third inning after he reached on a hit by pitch. He started the rally of the big frame as the changeup works outside. Burr from Riverside, California. 30 games, 5 starts as a freshman. For Bushnell as he laces that one into right center field and nobody's there. Burr's going to hit first and head to second. Poor route from Sir in right field. And it would have been a stand-up double, though, anyway. Brody Burr puts the go-ahead run for the Drifters in the 8th in scoring position. Just a great piece of hitting going to the opposite field. And immediately out of the box was sniffing two. Got there with ease. Out to the top with Aiden Gebhardt. You could see a bunt here with no outs. Looking to move that runner to 90 feet away. He will not square. And misses low, and a good block by Pfeiffer. That sun at the backs of the golden jerseys of the Elks. Tough at bat for these Sunday evening games. Usually we get them in the 5th or 6th inning. Tonight, it's in the big spots. Where's the bunt? It kicks away from Pfeiffer. There's going to be a play at third, though, and he's safe. Good base running from Brody Burr, reading one out of the dirt. 2 consecutive pitches for Ortega that touched the turf. Brody Burr, though, with that speed. Now the infield forced to come in. Ball in the outfield gives the Drifters the lead. That one's chopped high in the air, forces the runner to stay at third, and they got him at first. An unproductive out for Aiden Gebhardt. And a good play by Braden Jones. If Burr saw the high hop off the bat, he probably would have had time to take home. But it was a weird one. It looked like it bounded off the plate. And a wise decision to not go. Deuce Sims had to stretch with the opposite foot. He wasn't even ready to cover in that scenario. Pfeiffer blocks another one in the dirt. That fastball at 88. LJ Lehue has reached in all 4 of his plate appearances. 3 walks and an RBI single. Popped up foul and out of play. That beautiful backdrop beyond the Elks dugout. Still a beautiful night. As the series finale enters the latter stages, the plot continues to thicken. 1-1 right back up the middle, and the Drifters have the lead. LJ Lehue has had himself a night. Brody Burr comes in to score his second RBI single, and it's 7-6. Now Peyton Tyner will take down and end tight for a ball. Lehue's now reached in all 5 plate appearances and has been the thorn in the Elks side. 1-0 to Tyner, left on left, and he slashed through a fastball at the top. Hit .303 while slugging .399 in 2026 with Lane CC. That one misses down. The Elks have been familiar with coming back on opening night. We're down 7-1 at one point in a game that wasn't pretty at all. Came all the way back and ended up taking it 12-8. Last night, they controlled for the majority of it, thanks to Aiden Tallarico. But that resilience has Josh Jackson talked about in our post-game interview Friday night, really builds up a team and makes them prepared for another moment like this that comes just 2 days later. 2-2, check swing, you win a round. Pfeiffer's throw is going to go down to second, and everybody's safe. Or are they not? It's good as a steal. It's a strikeout. First base was occupied, but with no signal, it was awkward. That's good awareness from Isaac Pfeiffer in that situation. It was strike three. First base is occupied in that case, so the batter's out no matter what, despite it technically being a drop third strike. Now it's Nick Gamino on a fastball that misses up and away. One and 0 with 2 outs, runner on second. Drifters looking to add on a critical insurance run as Gamino cuts through it. Third inning for the Drifters is holding up as the biggest frame of the night, a 4 spot that has propelled him to this spot, and Gamino was a part of getting it going. That's fouled back. Noble Ortega working much harder than he had to last night in that safe spot where he picked it up. Ortega's 1-2. Softly to the right side, fielded by Sims. Ortega's going to cover, and they got him. A good effort by Gamino, diving to get to first. But the Drifters take the lead. 7-6. Now the score. And we got here with a series of events that really started with the Brody Burr double. That ball that was crushed into right center, sniffing 2 out of the box, and was easily there. And he ultimately moved up to third. There was the high chopper that was just as good as a strikeout for Noble Ortega. But then the big swing, L.J. Lehue. It was Jacob Villapando on Friday night that got the Elks. Tonight it's L.J. Lehue. Then there was the strikeout, and then the soft chopper on a good play by Deuce Sims to the covering Noble Ortega. The Elks, this upcoming frame, 8-9-1, due up against the righty Andrew Miller, playing catch-up. Kevin Ferruta will start things off in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Bend Elks, still facing Aiden Miller, or Andrew Miller. Kevin Ferruta had the big 2-out RBI double his last time through. So swing and miss at the first pitch he sees. That was a huge swing that gave the Elks and was a part of their 3-run 5th inning. It's keeping them in this game. 0-1 to Ferruda is fouled away. Braden Jones after him, and then the top. This is setting up, in Ben's case, for the heart of the order coming up in the 9th. Miller has been great for these Drifters. Was awesome last night for them. And back at it here on Sunday. Cedar 88. Misses up. That sun now right into the catcher's eyes. So tough if you're either Ferruda or Leahy behind the dish. 1-2 also misses up. Miller's got experience pitching in the WCL. Was with the Corvallis Knights in 2025. Just a 3-pitch guy that really leans on that fastball. 2-2 breaking balls popped up, foul territory, and out of play. We'll do it again. The longer the AB goes, the higher chance of a mistake over the middle of the plate. Officially have hit the 3-hour mark, 8:10 local time. Still a long way to go in just a 1-run game. Got him swinging. Ferruda was way out in front on that slider. It's Miller's second K. Filthy wipeout slider that took the legs out of Ferruda's swing. And now Mason Elrod is going to get a chance to pinch hit for Braden Jones. Elrod, one of the more talented bats on this Elks team, who has struggled offensively since stepping foot in Bend. Just 1 for 5 last night. And a couple of walks and a hit in the opener. But a lot of confidence, and Alan Cox assured Mason Elrod of that earlier today, that no matter what, there's a whole lot of belief in number 23. First pitch, that slider called a strike. Andrew Miller in a groove out there on the mound. Currently in the transfer portal. Elrod chased the slider. It's 0-2. And when you're in the portal and you have the recent success that Andrew Miller's had, it's a great thing. Putting a lot of coaches on notice. Oh, 2. Got Elrod on 3 pitches. And they were all off speed, out of the strike zone. Back-to-back punch-outs for Andrew Miller. And it's to the top of the order with Keaton Nadeau. Here comes the beef. Nadeau has 2 hits tonight, 2 stolen bases. One of those being a triple that started off the offense for the Elks. Hit off the bottom of the wall in left center field, and he just kept on running. Whole lot of speed. And the first triple of the year for the Bend Elks as well. Take a strike. Aiden Tallarico, the ever-dangerous threat, waiting on deck. Elks just hope they can get him up to bat with the runner on base. Nadeau will take a strike at the base of the zone. And Andrew Miller has showcased exceptional command in this inning. Comes set on the 0-2. Lined right back to him, and he caught it. A phenomenal inning for Andrew Miller. Ends with a catch and a flip of the ball. That frame, all Andrew Miller in that half. But the top really got started with Springfield. And of course, they plated that run that is now the difference when you look up at the scoreboard, starting with the double from Brody Burr, the ground out, and then the big hit, LJ Lehue, which right now would be the game-winning hit, unless the Elks can mount that late comeback. There was the strikeout, and then the final play of the inning, where Deuce Sims fielded it, flipped it to the covering Ortega. And then, in the bottom half of the inning, when the Elks had a chance to respond, they could not. Andrew Miller, who's been known for the zeros, kept it going. Punch out on Ferruta. Then Elrod comes up. He does the same thing with that slider. And he wraps it up emphatically. Right back to him. The catch, the walk, and the flip. Josh Jackson, the new arm now for the Bend Elks, will come into the ballgame. 5 strikeouts in the Bend Elk opener. And he was our first bull of the game of the season, something that only one person can say. 5 Ks, and you'll see this funky release from a interesting slot on the right side that's tough to pick up. Get some natural sync with it as well. And he will face Jared Riddle to start this ninth. It's fouled right back. Really pay attention to how Josh Jackson goes about it. Closed shoulder at the beginning. Big deep breath, but he's coming at you from a lower slot than normal, not over the top, and also not fully 3/4. But when it's riding like that in the 80s, it's really tough to hit. The Elks have Tallarico, Sir, and Pfeiffer due up in the bottom of the 9th. You just got to get there. 0-2 to Riddle. Got him swinging. Josh Jackson has been untouchable. His 6th K already as an Elk. This is only his 3rd inning, and it's simple. Right down the gut, but they can't pick it up. First pitch to Villapando, misses low. Couple of walks for Villapando tonight. Take high there. Dimitri Sisidko is now playing second base for the Bend Elks. They had Elrod come in for Jones. So Elrod's now at first. And Eli Pupo is now in left field. 2-1. Fouled back. So some defensive changes if you're keeping up. Sisitko at second, Elrod at first, and Pupo in left. 2-2 with 1 out, nobody on to Villapando. And he got him swinging. Josh Jackson, how do you do? A slider that time at 78. 2 batters faced and 2 punch-outs. Untouchable. Starts in the strike zone and completely falls off the table. Mooney Heffernan in the bat. Will take a called strike at the knees. He's got to be just feeling himself out there. Your first outing as an Elk is in front of the home crowd. You pick up the save and you punch out 5 in 2 innings. And now you're in the process of potentially striking out the side with a chance to pick up the win if the Elks were to do something special in the bottom of the 9th. Riddle by way of the K, same with Villapando. Heffernan fouls that one away. But that fastball at the top of the zone has set everything else up. That fell near that bullpen that is now vacated. Jackson's 0-2 again. Heffernan stays alive. 2 hits tonight for Mooney Heffernan. One being a run batted in. But a tough arm he's facing in Josh Jackson. A big pause. Here it comes. Down and away. That fastball just got away from him. Still all the kiddos in attendance. And a shout out to tonight's bat kid from Dom. Working over there near Elks players, and David Diaz giving him a little push. Good pick by Pfeiffer. Breaking ball just getting away, but that's the beauty if you're Jackson of working ahead early. Is you have the ability to throw some waste pitches and hope for a chase. Two outs, nobody on. Ground ball to the right side. So Sidco fields there. Throw to first. A clean inning for Josh Jackson. And a 0. Building momentum going into the bottom of the 9th. And tonight's designated hitter in Aiden Tallarico is already ready in the on-deck circle. Josh Jackson. What a frame that was. Started off with the K on Riddle. Went with the fastball and the leg kick there. Then Villapando chased on the off-speed. And to end the frame after a longer at-bat and a good battle from Mooney Heffernan. A ground ball to the right side, fielded by Sisitko, and a strong throw to first. Still, it's Andrew Miller in the way for the Bend Elks. They trail by 1, 1 to tie, 2 to go home in moments. Each player at the fencing, getting ready for potentially a special moment in Game 3 of 3 between the Springfield Drifters, a chance for the Bend Elks to sweep. They trail by 1, but the beef coming up. Tallarico, Sir, and Pfeiffer. Tallarico jumps on the first pitch, but he pops it up. Shallow center field, and Aiden Gebhard makes the catch. Ultra aggressive, and it feels like the Drifters have made an adjustment tonight. Not giving him as many pitches in the zone. 2 more outs to play with for the Elks. Josh Sir gets another at-bat. All 4 ABs he's reached via free pass. 3 walks and a hit by pitch, as he'll take a breaking ball high. Andrew Miller, all the way back in the 7th inning, entered in a tough situation. 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and he got a double play. Then in the next frame, a couple of punch outs, the liner back, and he's on the mound with a chance to get the Drifters a win. And he gets a pop-up from Josh Sir. Circling under it is Riddle, and there's 2 outs. Isaac Pfeiffer, the final chance for the Bend Elks as this evening is winding down. Pfeiffer will take just a bit low. It would be Pfeiffer, Eli Pupo, who's on deck, and then Dimitri Sasidko. Pfeiffer still looking for that first knock. Takes outside, 2-0. And who had a couple of moments with the Elks at the beginning of last season. Coming back for more, looking to prove it and secure a spot on this roster. Tapped foul off the catcher and Lehue. A phenomenal crowd tonight. 1,400 fans, a lot sticking around. In the best game and most competitive of this series thus far. Miller's 2-1. And the Elks are down to their final strike. A bullpen where Jeff Lyle was looking for answers. Andrew Miller has been his guy, answering a lot of those problems. Pfeiffer skies one to right. Trailing over is Tyner, and it falls foul. We'll do it again. But with all the walks, the hit by pitches, Tristan Mallory not being able to find it. Miller was a lifeline for Lyle that he relied on last night too, and has gotten even better results right here. Breaking ball, flared, shallow left field. It's going to fall down. Isaac Pfeiffer keeps this game going with a 2-out single, and Eli Pupo is going to get a chance to hit. His first at-bat of the night. And time will be called from LJ Lehue. The entire infield will come in. And Jeff Lyle, after seeing brilliance from Andrew Miller, is going to go to the bullpen again and to a new arm. You'd assume that this is going to be a lefty with Eli Pupo coming up. And it looks like it will be. So Jeff Lyle has a counter move to the move of Pupo coming in to hit. And it's Michael Klein, the lefty. Big moments coming up in just a few. Do not go anywhere. Michael Klein is the pitcher called upon in the biggest moment of the game. After Andrew Miller was close to shutting the door, Isaac Pfeiffer with a 2-out single fight him off, keeps this game rolling. Michael Klein, he threw back on Friday night, win an inning and a third. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits with 2 strikeouts and no walks. 4 pitches out of him, fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. In his second year with the Springfield Drifters, has thrown against these Elks many times before. But few moments get bigger than facing the potential winning run. And it's Eli Pupo getting ready to dig in with a smile on his face. Got the day off after starting the first 2 games of this series, but is back. Lefty on lefty. The local product from Redmond. First pitch fastball. Called a strike at the base of the zone, a gift. And a big pitch that changes the complexion of the at-bat. Pfeiffer on first. See if he thinks about it. Breaking ball, misses outside. A great corral job by L.J. Lehue, keeping it in front. You see it. That's a hair down. Fisher, been a low ball umpire, though, all series. 1-1. Fastball, called a strike. That one was grooved. And now Pupo's got to protect. If he were to reach, it's Dimitri Sasidko on deck. Slight overshift to the pull side for Riddle. Klein's 1-2. Grounded softly to the third baseman in Gamino. He feels it there. Throw to first. Not in time. Eli Pupo with a hustle infield single. Keeps this game alive. That is what it's all about. Max effort. As soon as that ball was put in play, he put his head down and ran as hard as he could, beating it by half a step. And Dmitry Sasidko, who already has 2 hits tonight, including a run batted in, gets another chance. Finds first pitch, misses low. Sasidko with a ton of tools, but that bat to ball shines brightly. 23 runs batted in college this last season. 1-0 heater is popped up. Shallow right field, but it could be a tough play. Tyner coming in, tracking fast, it falls! 1 run's gonna score! Pupos hold it third! It's a RBI double for Dmitry Sasidko! The game is tied at 7! The Magic Wandu. A bloop single to right field, and it does the trick. Only 77 off the bat, but with Tyner shaded into right center field, nobody was there. And an easy score for Isaac Pfeiffer. Bringing up Adam Fulton with the game on the line. A base hit wins it. On third is Pupo. On second is Sasidko, and Fulton jumps on the first pitch. Swung out of his shoes on that first pitch. Had an RBI earlier on a double play. Breaking ball just outside, a good take. 3 straight hits have the Elks with a late 9th inning rally and a chance to sweep the Springfield Drifters. Klein's 1-1. Popped up foul and out of play. This game, it has had everything. From the in-game stoppage, to the rallies, to the errors, the bloops. Topsy-turvy roller coaster coming down to this. Pupo at third. Creeping off. Fulton lines one into center field, but it's right at Gebhard, and he squeezes it. We are going to extra innings in the series finale. On a ball that was hit well from Adam Fulton. Found a barrel. We got to catch our breath. Dmitry Sasidko with the bloop double as it was trailing fast and nobody was there. But how did we get here, you wonder? Well, it started with that wild pitch that brought in a run with Sasidko up. The Elks were able to answer an early run from the Drifters, and then there were so many occasions with balls up and in. Players getting plunked, a frustrated Ben crew, but good base running galore gave them prime opportunities, including Keaton Nadeau at the top. But you had even more hit by pitches, even when you thought you couldn't get enough. Sasidko had an RBI single earlier, and if only we knew that that would be foreshadowing to what would happen in the 9th. Adam Fulton in a big bases-loaded spot that came in the 5th inning with the chance to add on, grounded into a double play. It brought in a run. The Elks could not add on, but Kevin Ferruta with a huge 2-out RBI double in the 5th, got them their 3rd run home, and frankly, that's why we're tied. There's been other moments, but that was a big spot. Keaton Nadeau, when he had the chance in the leadoff hole, reached first on a base hit. Aiden Tallarico had that big swing and a miss, but Nadeau stole second, and not only that, he was aggressive enough to then go and take third on a risky play that you don't generally see when you're already in scoring position. He took it no problem, was safe there, but then there was the base running miscue. Sir walked, went down to first, and then Nadeau got caught in the rundown. It just makes you wonder when you look back at all the moments. Andrew Miller did his thing. He got to a point where he was 1 out away from winning the game. But Riddle had a big hit. Sisitko flipped one into right. And then Jackson was rolling on the bump, and he gets to get another crack at this in the 10th inning. The way that this is going to go is runners are going to start on first and second. As we'll get the official ruling here. Square to bunt, and he misses high. We also have a pinch hitter now. This is Takahashi. Austin Takahashi, the red shirt junior infielder. And with the runners on first and second to start this frame in the unique West Coast League rules, the Elks will come together and talk about it. As they then depart. The runner on second is number 9, Jacob Villapando. As there is a whole lot of confusion that we're trying to figure out. I believe it's Muna Heffernan on first. Alan Cox and home plate umpire Jacob Fisher are having a chat. We had this come about in Portland at one point last season, the extra inning rules. And funny enough, on a getaway day, it changes things. So extra innings in the West Coast League normally, if it's not a getaway day, you play normally with no ghost runner. But on the getaway day, on the Sunday, it becomes a little more complicated. (2026), they've changed it after that year of having it on just the getaway days to every day, every extra inning opportunity. But both Alan Cox and Jeff Lyle and crew are trying to figure this thing out. As we know it, there's no outs. There's Jacob Villapando on second and Muna Heffernan on first, with Austin Takahashi pinch hitting for Colton Perez. And with both of them being left-handed bats, Colton Perez possessing more power. I guess this is for a bunt to move those runners up to second and third. While they chat, let's look back at that 9th inning, because to even be in this spot is pretty crazy. Aiden Tallarico, a guy you want up in the 9th more than practically anybody after his day yesterday, flew out to right field. And then Josh Sir flew out to the second baseman, popped out. So you thought the game was over. 2 outs, nobody on. Isaac Pfeiffer, what a gritty at-bat to flip a single into left and keep this game alive. Then Eli Pupo with a hustle, infield single, busting it out the box, head down, beat it by half a step, and that opened the door for Dmitry Sisitko, who simply just flipped a ball into shallow right field, put bat to baseball, and that thing had eyes. Fell fast, nobody could get there. It brought in a run. Sisitko moved up to second. To third was Pupo. But they weren't able to end it. Adam Fulton came up with the winning run 90 feet away. And he lined a ball, a good barrel, but right at Gebhardt. Alan Cox and Jeff Lyle are still chatting over there near the first baseline. Josh Jackson's just throwing to stay loose. Can't speculate anything until we know for sure. Confusion on this rule comes with it being early in the season, absolutely. As we're even figuring it out up here still. But you'd think one of the umpires would just say, this is what it is. So now Fisher and his partner will walk over and have a chat with Cox and Lyle. You wonder what this conversation entails. I understand maybe the coaches in this case not knowing the rules, but from an umpire perspective, everybody's still learning. It's just, you wouldn't expect a delay to last this long. While we wait, I'll give you some scores around the WCL on Sunday, May 31st. Corvallis beat Kamloops 14-6. Mentioned Walla Walla beat Yakima 11-8. Ridgefield beat Nanaimo 15-3. Kelowna beat Bellingham 13-7. We're all knotted up here. 7-7 in the 10th. Marion beat Port Angeles in 10 innings. A team the Elks play on Tuesday. 7-6. Portland is up on Victoria 11-4 in the 7th. So it's going to stay with runners on first and second. Takahashi, the batter. They're going to run a pick play, and Sasitko couldn't catch it. But he wasn't able to have it go far enough by him for Villalpando to move up. That's a fortunate break for the Elks. Sasitko, it was a strong throw. He covered in time. He just did not grab it. Went by the glove into shallow center. And a wise decision from Villalpando to not take third. Takahashi will take a bunt. He fouled it into the catcher's mitt. And it's 0-1. He tried to pull it back, and in the process, home plate umpire Jacob Fisher says it got the bat. I don't think it got the bat. Watching the replay. That breaking ball called a strike on the outside corner. But that's a big play. Because now with 2 strikes, you'd guess it takes off the bunt. Villalpando on second. Heffernan on first. Jackson's 0-2. High and wide. Elrod was crashing hard. Even with the 2 strikes. Brody Burr waiting on deck, and then the top of the order here in the 10th inning. Drifters looking to avoid the sweep. Squares, and he fouled it. He kept the bunt on with 2 strikes, so it's a punch out. That is a questionable decision from the Drifters. I get wanting to have the bunt still on, but now just handed the Elks a strikeout. Kept it on all the way. A lot of trust from Lyle in Takahashi, and he couldn't get the job done. Big first out. Now Brody Burr up. Jackson continues to pound the zone, 0-1. The resilience from this crafty righty out of Umpqua Community College has been outstanding. 0-2. And he's just blowing that heater by everybody. That time towards the top of the zone. Can go anywhere he wants against Brody Burr, who had a huge double back in the 8th that plated one for the Drifters. At this moment, the reason why we're still playing. 0-2. Up and in tight. Continuing to battle. Gorgeous sunset in the distance on this brilliant game that continues to unfold. Ground ball would get the Elks out of this frame and take them into the bottom half of the 10th. Still tied. Lined right back up the middle softly. Could be 2. Fulton Fields gets second, but he loses it on the transfer. Safe at first is Brody Burr. Moving up to third is Jacob Villanpando. It's going to go down as a 6 unassisted on that one. And you'll see on this replay, it's soft, and that's easily the call. Had it in the web, touched second, and then lost it on the transfer. As Wes Harper, while Jeff Lyle takes time to talk to our base umpire, we'll go talk to Josh Jackson. 2 outs, runners on the corners, tied at 7. But that was a great job by Adam Fulton to glove that baseball, because it easily could have just squeaked underneath his glove. Beat in with the entire infield in. Aiden Gebhard will be the batter. These games have been tumultuous. Approaching 4 hours on the game. 8:52. We started at 5:10. It has been a marathon. Swung on and missed. Villanpando getting a big lead off a third. Looking to escape is Jackson. His 0-1 hit foul out of play, 0-2. Right here, Jackson looking for his best pitch. Whatever that may be in a 2-strike count, has a couple to play with. Brody Burr on first. The 0-2. Broken bat, right back to Jackson, he gloves it. Flip to first, the Elks escape unscathed. And just need 1 run in the 10th to win it. Falling off the mound for Jackson to glove that was brilliant. He got some firewood with Gebhard. Right back to him on the low backhander. The toss to Elrod was low, but an easy squeeze. And now the Elks will start with runners on first and second as well against Michael Klein, with Kevin Ferruta coming up with a chance to win it. Bottom of the 10th inning, all tied up at 7. And the Elks have the same opportunity the Drifters got in the top half. Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. What a game this has been. Dimitri Sasidko on second, Adam Fulton on first, and Kevin Ferruda with a chance to win the game. He's going to square around a bunt with Elrod on deck. Ferruda pops up the bunt. Over the head of the third baseman, though. It kicks and goes foul. Disaster averted for both teams, with Ferruda popping it up and it going over Gamino's head. Oh my goodness. And the wherewithal to then let it go foul is major. We'll see if he tries it again. Fans pounding the signs. 0-1. Gets it. The Bend Elks win 8-7. It's only right. Game ended with some. Kevin Ferruda, a pitch after he already attempted a bunt and popped it up, and it went foul. Gets a bunt down, and it wasn't a pretty one. To Klein, who fielded it on the backhand. He got greedy going to 3 and threw it past the glove of Nick Gamino. An easy score for Dimitri Sasidko. The Bend Elks win the marathon 8-7 and complete the sweep. Just an incredible game. You gotta just focus. But man, absolutely. The Elks out of last year struggled with the ability to sweep teams, especially out the gate, and they opened 3-0. Sasidko coasted in and scored, and then the party in between first and second. You see the bunt? It was not pretty, right back to Klein. He just threw it away and rushed the throw, falling to one knee after he saw it go by the man at the hot corner in Gamino. Gave himself up, squared all the way around. The first time the Bend Elks have swept a team here at home since they did so against the Cowlitz Black Bears last season. And that was a series that saw madness too. Jace Miller hit a walk-off home run. There was so much that went on. I'm still catching my breath up here too. Aiden O'Neill up in the broadcast booth. What a game. 8-7 the final. 10 hits for the Elks to 9 for the Drifters. And if you're Springfield, this is gutting because at one point they were up 5-1 in this baseball game. It's difficult to sweep any team in baseball just because of how difficult the sport is. But the Bend Elks were resilient, and they've been resilient all season long. But I want to look back to that ninth. When you think about this game, I think about Isaac Pfeiffer because amidst how this game unfolded, you might forget that the reason that there was even any of this is because of Isaac Pfeiffer with 2 outs. After 2 of the best hitters in this lineup at Aiden Tallarico and Josh Sir got out. He worked a gritty, tough at-bat. Line drive into left field for a base hit. Then Eli Pupo, the hometown kid, beats out an infield single. And then Dimitri Sasidko. It felt like a night for the Elks, like the baseball gods were rewarding them. Blooped a ball into shallow right field, and nobody was there. Tyner tried, so did Riddle. It fell just inside the first base line, and Pfeiffer came in to score. Sasidko moved up to third. Pupo was there as well. But then the play. Furuta with the automatic runners at first and second, gets a bunt down, and Dimitri Sasidko on the air scores. The Drifters shot themselves in the foot all series long, and that continues to define what it was, ending on an E1. Although the Elks swept Springfield, this was an ultra-competitive series, and I don't even know if the final score fully tells the story. There were multiple come-from-behind wins for the Bend Elks. They had to deal with 5 errors yesterday that they came back from, but it ultimately results in a 3-0 start. And this team, it really does feel like something's in the air. Thank you so much for taking some time. The opening weekend here at Vince Scana Stadium. I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off. 6-game road trip next week, but then we'll be back in this booth, and I hope you guys like this new stream. For my producer, Pierce Gordon, I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off. We'll see you next time.